Hey Kayla, just looking at your poster here. Um, Very impressive watercolors here. Really liking those. So you have them in CMYK. The effective PPI is looking pretty good. The text effect is a little low res for some reason. So don't use it any bigger than you already have it, which I don't think you will. Mountains look good. So we want the effective PPI to be 300 or higher. And we want the color space to be CMYK, which it looks like you've already done all of that, which is great. I noticed you got these in here. I see there's like some white boxes here. And I like that. But if you're going to do that, make it look a little bit more intentional. And don't put the box on the text box. Like take that stroke off and just make a new box. So you have a little bit more customization. It's just a little easier. The properties panel can help with this, but we can change the color back to white. And then you did have it on 2, but I would just make it even bigger so it's more bold. Otherwise it's just not really, probably not sticking out enough. And then we can do a range on that to bring to front to bring the text over the top. I don't know if you want that to kind of stick out of the box. I think it kind of looks good sticking out of the box, like, or overlapping it slightly somehow. Maybe the text is actually a little bit bigger than the box in places. I don't know. Let's see, does that look good? Maybe it's coming out of the box a little bit. Maybe there's places that it is overlapping. That might actually be too big. But, having it overlap that box a little bit isn't a bad idea. And I think it's off to the side, but I almost wonder if it shouldn't be centered. This whole thing just centered, maybe brought down a little bit more from the edges, because there is going to be a white border on this when it prints of 1/8 of an inch all the way around. So I mean, I usually just kind of drag this out to, what is this? Is this some kind of extra thing? I don't know what that was. I don't think I actually had the thing selected that I thought I had selected, but anyway, yeah, this is going to have a white border on it all the way around. So sometimes I add it in just so I know what it'll look like. And then I think, if you want to have a white box on this, it's fine. I almost wonder if it wouldn't look better without that though. And then if you're going to make it cattywampus, like off kilter, then do it to where it's super, like a little bit more evident that you're doing that, just so it looks intentional. And it looks like a purposeful design choice rather than just kind of an coincidental thing that you're doing. And then also definitely make the border intentional looking as well. It doesn't have to be exactly the same width as this one, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same color either. I mean, you could do a different color border. I don't know. You could borrow some of the colors from the tribute text, maybe like use the eyedropper tool and sample this image. Maybe we like this teal color. We can control click or right click on that and add to swatches so that we can quickly grab that. Now when we're over here, we can go scroll down and here's that color that we added. I'm not saying I think that looks good. I actually think it looks better white, but I just wanted to show you that. What did I just do? Did not mean to add that on. One thing with this too is like, you might want to just try it with no stroke and no tilt to the box. You can also find, you can put this on 0 and return, and that's also, and you might just want to do it like this and have it look like that, and maybe there is a line there. Oops, there is a line there on this, like, so I mean, just line it up with that box maybe, and then it looks a little more intentional. Another thing you can do is, it looks like there's a little bit more to play with, so you can crop it up using the black arrow tool, and then you could use this gradient feather tool, which actually creates, if you have it selected, you can drag it over it, and you can like fade out the top. So we obviously don't want to fade out your mountain, but we want to fade out that gray background a little bit so it doesn't look so harsh and easy to see, and that might actually help kind of fade that top line away a little bit so it's not so evident. And, you know, we can crop these to the 1/8 of an inch, you know, where we think it's gonna. And I like the background that you have. It's kind of like a textured background. I like that. You know, something like this is what it's going to print like. You know, and if you want to go like off kilter with things, maybe try it on the actual title too. You know, if you want to try and add some off kilter things. And so I really think that these are very strong images. I almost wonder if you need the mountain. You might not need the mountains. You might be able to get away with just these two things and the title, and or even just maybe you want to have one strong central image, either the guitar or the microphone, and you could just kind of, you know, size that up without stretching it, and potentially add in, you know, maybe some graphical elements such as stripes or something. I mean, that's just some basic things you could do. I don't know, find a good color scheme that matches what you want to do, and make stripes in the background. You could even do a window effects panel, turn that up, bring that up, and we can actually make this like, you know, we could change these to this, kind of like that Photoshop thing that we had in Photoshop, but you can do that in InDesign here. So these are kind of fun. Color burn looks kind of cool. So you could actually, you know, make stripes and find a good color scheme, obviously, that matches what you want to do. But you could make stripes, you could do different shapes in the background, and then have, you know, some of these images over the top of that. Yeah, and then once you add your logos in, you can put them down here, you know, hopefully all close to the same color, same size. The size of them, I would make them 1 inch by 1 inch, and you can tell how big something is by like the width and the height are up here if you're in Window Workspace Essentials Classic. And definitely make sure if you're in Essentials Classic that the Properties panel is open. But yeah, that's pretty much the feedback I have for now. You might want to move this text, the KNMC 90.1 FM, you might want to move it either on top of Tribute, or it could also stay there, but definitely make your title, location, date the second biggest thing on the, as far as the text goes, on the, besides the title on the poster design. So that's pretty much all I had to say concerning the poster you made. I think you did a really good job using your own artwork and creating your own artwork, and I think it looks really nice. Yeah, so anyway, we'll talk to you soon.